Welcome back, everyone, to episode 31 of the Memes, Dreams, 32 Teams podcast. And if you are wondering why the audio sounds a little scuffed, or if you are watching this, kind of explains it. We are next to each other. We are on a trip in LA, and we decided to hold off on recording our episode for a few days so that we could record it
Live.
in person together.
Not live, but yeah, in person.
So, again, if the audio it does sound much different, it's just one episode. Bear with us. We just want to do something special. The video will be uploaded on YouTube, so you can find us on YouTube. Memes, Dreams, 32 Teams, if you want to watch our reactions as we do this. But it is very scuffed because we don't have a lot of equipment, so we kind of just
Brought together.
probably had and sent it.
It'll work.
Yeah, so we will be reviewing briefly. Basically, the schedule dropped for the 2021 season about, I don't know,
Wednesday night?
3 days ago. It's Friday.
So, yeah,
2 days ago.
2 days ago. It's been a long.
So we're just gonna look through some things, and just kind of.
Usually we at least have like an outline, not really even an outline, just like a general plan. We have nothing right now.
Nope, nothing.
Not even gonna lie.
Nope. This is gonna be on the fly, guys. So just enjoy the show.
I guess we'll start with the easy things. Have you looked at the Cowboys schedule?
I have not looked at the Cowboys schedule.
We'll start there, then.
But what I did read here is that, funny enough, the Eagles, Cowboys, and Falcons
Yep.
have the easiest schedules, and that's based off of strength of schedule, which is determined by the opponent's records last season.
Yeah.
So the Eagles, Cowboys, and Falcons have the easiest schedules, and then the Steelers, Ravens, and Bears have the toughest.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the Steelers obviously you're going to have the toughest because they went. 12 and 4. They started out 12 and 0.
Yeah. That was.
Last season, dude, it made no sense with the Steelers. They just kept winning, and then they lost 4 in a row.
Well, they won games they weren't supposed to win, and then they just turned off a switch or something. They just became a peewee team.
I felt like it was going to happen, right? Like it was like their luck was going to run out.
It kind of had to at some point. Nobody, I mean, if you're going 16-0, that's insanely impressive, but they were not a team to go 16-0 last year.
Yeah, so I don't know about their schedule, man. It made no sense. But then obviously we saw them when they got to the playoffs, and the
Yeah, it didn't
Browns
work.
scored 21 points in 4 seconds.
I think it was a little bit longer, but yeah, pretty much. Oh, yeah, I think we actually looked that up one time, and it was like 28-7 at the end of the first.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. But I think both of our teams having the easiest schedule and the Eagles having these easiest schedules is
So yes and no. By strength of schedule, yes, we have the third easiest schedule in the league. My only problem with that is Falcons go to London week 5, play the Jets.
I forgot London's back in the mix.
And then we come home to a bye week 6, and now with a 17-game schedule, that means we have to play 10 straight games going into playoffs. So while the opponents are easy, we will not have a break for 3 weeks.
Wait, no. You said so. You go week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
5's in London,
then a bye week,
then bye week, and then we come back and we go to the Dolphins.
and then you have to play 12 games straight with no bye.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 11.
Can I do math?
I couldn't either. I said 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week 5.
Mm-hmm. By week 6,
There's 18 weeks.
there's 18 weeks.
I was like, something's off
17
here.
games, 18 weeks. You're right. Okay, so it is 12.
I was like 5 plus 11 is 16. This.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh man.
So that's my only problem. Well, yeah, we do have the easiest schedule. We still have to play Super Bowl winning Buccaneers twice because division.
At least you don't start the season against them.
This is true.
We start against them Thursday. I forgot my time zones are switched, and I was like, we don't play at 5:20.
Yeah, so yeah, y'all get.
I mean,
That's game 1, isn't it?
that is game
Yeah.
1 of the season. We get to see if bringing back your entire offense is,
Worth it.
or I mean, your entire team is probably the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Is beneficial, and then we get to see if the Cowboys can stay healthy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited as a Cowboys fan to open up the season, but
I feel like you get the hardest game out of the way.
no.
No? Who else you'll have?
Kansas City week 11.
Oh, yeah.
Those are our two. Honestly, I mean it makes sense because they said our season is easy. It's like we play Tampa Bay, then we play the Chargers, which is a young and growing team. Then we go Philly, Carolina, the Giants, New England,
Yeah.
bye week.
Keep in mind your Division 1, 23 games combined last year.
And
So,
you didn't need to bring that up.
That's six.
but-
That's 6 of your 10 games right there against a team that may have gone 5-11.
And then we go Minnesota, Denver, Atlanta. Then we go to Kansas City. Then Las Vegas, New Orleans, which I usually would be scared of New Orleans, but we don't.
We have no idea what's going on with New Orleans.
We don't
this
know
year.
if it's going to be Jameis. We don't know if it's going to be Taysom Hill. We don't know if it's going to be or maybe Rodgers gets traded there. Russell Wilson gets traded. Like there's, you know what I mean.
There's a lot of possibilities, but there's a lot of time still between now and then.
And then we play Washington, New York, Washington, and then we play Arizona, Philly. Like our schedule is not like if the Cowboys do not win
There's some issues.
11 or 12 games this season, it is a problem.
I saw some predictions. I don't remember what they were for the Cowboys, but for the Falcons, there was 5 or 6 analysts. I think it was CBS that went through and like where they were predicting all the schedules, and half of them had the Falcons going 12-5, the other half had them going 5-12, and that I really don't know what to expect this season.
Which means you guys are going to finish the first ever 8-8-1.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
That'd be the Eagles. thing.
7-9. I hope the Seahawks go 7-9-1 just to give it to Jeff Fisher, or not the Eagles. Sorry, I don't.
Jeff Fisher isn't even leaving.
Rams. I know, but the Rams. Jeff Fisher went 7-9 for or 7-8-1 like 5 times in his career.
I don't even know how he was a coach for so long.
So I hope they go 7-9-1 just for the memes. No clue how he's a coach as long as he was.
The first Monday night game is the first game in Vegas with fans.
They did that on purpose, and that's very smart.
So they host Baltimore, which I mean they're gonna.
They should run through them.
Baltimore.
Well,
I think Baltimore will win that game. Not saying it's gonna be stomp, but I see Baltimore winning by
Baltimore should beat the Raiders.
a sizable.
Baltimore should beat the Raiders. It should be a fun game though, regardless. So y'all have the first. I guess we'll just talk about week 1 a little bit. You have the first. I say you. The Cowboys have the first game, and that's Thursday night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the Sunday night game that week? Do
The
we
Sunday
know?
night game is Chicago at the Rams, which is also the first game at that stadium with fans. So
So they're doing well. Yeah, I guess any primetime game is going to be like that, but they're picking the new stadiums.
which are those the only two as of right now?
Yeah, and then
'Cause-
Sunday night is going to be. I have no idea.
no, Sunday night Chicago at Rams.
Oh, sorry, Monday night.
Monday night is Baltimore at Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
Okay.
I don't know.
Not bad.
Is Chicago gonna start Justin Fields?
I feel like
or
they should.
they have to, right? They traded up,
I definitely feel like they should. I mean, the alternative is let him sit behind Nick Foles for a little bit.
or they spent $12 million on Andy Dalton. Is he the starter?
They have so much money tied up in quarterback this year.
Yep.
Because I don't know. I'd have to look, but don't they have some of Nick Foles' contract with the Eagles too on their cap this year? Because he didn't finish his time at the Eagles, did he?
No, I think where did he go? Did he go to Jacksonville? They own the contract.
They own the contract then. You're
well,
right.
I mean, it's done by now, but
I guess that was a couple years ago. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, the Chicago situation is interesting.
But I didn't think about this. That Rams team that's not a Rams team with Goff.
Mm-mm.
That's the Stafford Rams team.
Which I still don't know why that trade happened.
I want to know why the Rams do not like first round picks. Like I don't. They just
Matthew Stafford was a first round pick.
No, I mean like they just give their first round picks away.
Yeah.
They-
Your future drafts. Gotcha.
They just like there's something about them and first round picks they do not like. They've traded away their last
8 years.
I mean,
It's a lot.
8 sounds valid.
It's
Been since Goff got in the league. He was their last first round pick, I think.
2017, 2016.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, them and the Texans both.
Then they
but
traded.
Texans
Then they
have
traded for
over.
Jalen Ramsey, and they gave up 2 first round picks, I think, for it. And then for Stafford, they gave up another 2.
plus some second rounds.
I just my interesting thing about it is that we can finally see Stafford
With an offensive line.
with a team.
Just in general with a team.
So now we can truly see is Stafford like an actual elite quarterback, or is he just someone who's just been able to throw the ball 8,000 yards because his team's always losing?
Garbage time. But even still, like I believe since he came into the league, he is the best come from behind. He has the best come from behind record.
It wouldn't shock me.
Most fourth quarter game winning drives since he's come into the league.
I mean, my favorite story about Stafford is that game that they showed all the time. He got hit and then he dislocated his shoulder. I think he stepped off the field for one play,
Popped it back in,
and then I don't even know if it was really popped back in.
It
he
was
because he was running and like holding it.
I mean, it was enough to get him back on the field.
Then
again, guys play through all kinds of injuries.
I don't know if you remember watching that video of that whole segment, but like they were trying to stop him from going on the field, and he just like weaved through a crowd and ended up on the field. And
I'll
I was
have to
like,
watch it again. I don't remember that fully.
I'm like, okay, dude, if you want to send it, like, just go for it. Send it.
I mean, that's their multi-million-dollar man.
I mean, he ended up leading them back to win, so it doesn't.
Matthew Stafford is good. Like we talked about this whenever the trade happened. There's no way. One, if I'm the Lions, I would have given up Stafford. And two, if I'm the Rams, you could have given up more, and it still would have been a good trade. Like I believe Stafford is so much better than Goff.
I agree.
Not only just because experience and how much longer he's been in the league, but just since Goff has been in the league and Stafford's been in the league, Stafford has way more production with a way worse team.
I feel like Goff has been. I hate using the term, but it's how I feel like. I feel like he's a system quarterback for McVay.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the system has been kind of not doing well the past couple of years. But
what do you think having somebody that knows what they're actually doing, has real NFL experience coming into a system offense, think that might be counterproductive?
I feel it depends. It depends on how do I put this? Like with any quarterback, you have to play to their strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And if your system doesn't allow that, then you need to adjust your system.
It's like we've talked about it before. Do you make your playbook for the players, or do you find players for your playbook?
I've always believed in finding players than building around them with the playbook. Yeah. That's what
It makes more sense. You find somebody that has real talent, Matthew Stafford, and figure out how to use him, whether it's getting him more weapons, making different plays, or whatever. It makes more sense to get somebody who is already comfortable with what they do and then grow off of that instead of, hey, you're really good, but I want you to do this.
It's like asking like a running quarterback to come into an offense and be like, okay, you're not going to run anymore. You're going to sit in the pocket and we're not going to use your legs.
Which we've seen.
Like ask Kyler Murray to not run.
Yeah. It's same with Dak. I mean, Dak has transitioned more into a throw-first quarterback.
Which is good.
But he can still break a 50-yard run if he has to.
Yeah, but
if he has to.
But they don't let him.
That's what I'm saying.
But then when he did, he lost a leg.
Yeah, that's why they probably don't let him anymore.
That was a freak accident. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
What I was going to bring up is, so you're talking about playbooks.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a special player who came back in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
I think so, yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars signed Tim Tebow to a 1-year deal as a tight end.
Tight end.
Do you think... I'll ask one question, and based off your answer, there might be a follow-up.
Okay.
Do you see plays where Tim Tebow ends up at quarterback?
Not where you're saying where he is actually the quarterback of the play.
No,
like not some sort of like flea flicker kind of thing, not flea
Philly
flicker,
special, some sort
100%. Yes. I don't. Well,
I mean, they could use him as a wildcat.
That's what I'm thinking. More of anything, they're gonna do something like that where Trevor Lawrence drops back, throws it all the way to the sideline. Tim Tebow's still there behind the line of scrimmage, and then.
Now, my follow-up question is over under on Tim Tebow passes.
Passes?
Yep, this season. It's not like completions, it's not
attempts.
Just how many passing attempts over under. I'm going to say we'll say I don't want to say too low. I'll say 15.
I was thinking 1 a game, so 15 is right where I was thinking. I'd be surprised. It's gonna depend because they're definitely gonna try it. They're definitely gonna test the waters on that.
I mean, it's Urban Meyer.
That's what I'm saying. And
Or that's his guy.
yeah, no, for the. I mean, he hasn't been in the league for 6 years or something like that now. Tim Tebow, not Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer's still been football. I would be very surprised if they'll try it once or twice, maybe in the first couple games. They're definitely going to try it at least once. And then depending on that, because if he throws 2 passes and they're both 20 yards over, 20 yards under, they probably won't try it again anymore. Until maybe they work on it later on in the season. So, or if he nails those 2 passes, they're going to do it once or twice a game probably from there on out. And how do you defend against something like that?
It's such a weird situation to me because
To answer the question, I'm going under.
Going under?
Under
Okay.
15.
I'm going over because I feel like Urban Meyer's gonna have this sort of like, I got to get my
Nostalgia.
Got to get my guy back in the NFL. It's
If they make playoffs, it'll be the first game of their playoff. It'll be the first play of their playoffs
I agree.
game. If they make playoffs.
the one thing that I'm like concerned about it is that even if you do it 1 or 2 times a game, it's weird to draft Trevor Lawrence number 1
and not want to use them.
Yeah, and then try and use. I get it. You want to throw a loop for the defense, but it's also like
It's also going to depend on how Tim Tebow's arm is. I mean, he did his 6 years away from football. He did play in the minor leagues baseball.
Yeah.
So it's not like his arm hasn't been getting worked out. And obviously, he wouldn't have made the team if he wasn't in good shape.
But it is different to throw a baseball compared to a football.
You're not wrong.
So I have thrown both of those, and I am weirdly more accurate with a football than I am a baseball.
Really?
Yes, because for some reason
Interesting.
my brain doesn't know when to release
That's
the
fair.
baseball because it's so much smaller.
That's fair.
So it's either I release too early and it goes way away, or I release too
Straight
late
to
and
the
it's
dirt.
straight to the ground. So
I'd be surprised if we didn't see them at least attempt it. I'd be very surprised if we didn't see an
it's
attempt.
at least going to happen a few times, right? Like it has to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different scenarios.
Is it going to be something like they just break it out randomly in a game during the season, or are they going to test the waters in preseason? I don't think if they're going to do it, I don't think they'll reveal that in preseason.
I agree. It'll be
like the Philly special. It'll just come out of nowhere.
I'm going to look at Jacksonville's schedule, and I want to see a game that
Jaguars have the 18th toughest schedule in the league.
that's good to know.
Opponents are just under 500 for last season.
I mean, like a game that Jacksonville would need to pull it out. So it's going to be, I mean, they are 1-15 last season, so a lot of their games are going to be closer just because
They are hopefully better. They should be better.
I could see it happening against division opponents.
I could see it happening against the Texans. Yeah, week 1 against the Texans.
Week
I
one,
could see that.
yeah, I mean, week 1 it could be, and we don't know. Again, we don't want to dive too much into it, but we don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for Houston. So I mean, like Houston could have. I don't even know who their backup is. I have no idea who the Texans would even have.
I honestly couldn't tell you either.
So I mean, like maybe what happens is that game starts and Jacksonville just absolutely runs through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they'll just mess around for the rest of the game.
So I don't know. I think it's going to happen definitely against a division opponent. Their backup quarterback is Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
Who I
Previously with the Bills? Last time I've seen him in a uniform with
Chargers.
the Bills? Chargers.
He went to the Chargers after the Bills cut him. And then he got cut because Justin Herbert started taking the position.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think Tyrod Taylor's a bad quarterback. I think he has been.
I think it's just, and no fault of his own, is just inexperience. Because he hasn't had the opportunity to get that much playing time because he's had the Justin Herbert in front of him.
Well, then when he was starting to get better, then they signed Josh Allen, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
well, Josh Allen is a crazy good talent and he's young, so it's like, why not just play him? And then he obviously is turning into Josh Allen.
We should talk about that at some point. The quarterbacks from like 2, 3, 4 drafts ago.
Where are they now?
Yeah. Where are they now? Yeah. Just, I mean,
Just fly out to their house. Yeah, how
Hold the mic up to the door.
how's it been since you got cut from your 3 teams?
Yeah, Josh Rosen, how's it been?
Oh no! Do not bring him up. That poor soul.
It's unfair to him, but the teams felt it was in the team's best interest to go a different direction.
Which each of the teams that he's signed for have gotten a better quarterback
After him. Yes.
like a good quarterback. So I'm like, obviously something is working, but
not him.
Josh Rosen is not working.
He's not anybody's guy.
Like literally,
He'll
he
land
is not
somewhere.
working. He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, no. Is he completely out of the league?
I have no idea. I just made that up.
We'll find out now.
So I don't know. The whole Tim Tebow situation is super interesting, and I can't wait to see what they do. I also has he ever caught a football before, like in a game?
Tim Tebow?
Like, has he caught?
I would imagine so. He's been around football for
But in a game,
25, 30 years. I would like to think he's in a game. I
definitely
have no idea.
Definitely in practice. Well, now definitely in practice. He's a tight
yeah.
end. Definitely
I mean,
now.
how long? We don't know how long he's been working in this direction to come back as a tight end. But whenever he was originally drafted, the Patriots, before he was drafted, the Patriots said, "We will take you if you convert to tight end." And he said, "No, I'm going to be a quarterback. No, I'm going to be a quarterback." And Broncos ended up getting him. So Bill Belichick, obviously, he knew something 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing him come into the league as a tight end. We'll see how he does, of course. But I would like to imagine if whenever he was coming out of college, teams were wanting him to be a tight end then, he should know how to catch a ball. If NFL teams are talking about drafting a Heisman-winning, national championship-winning quarterback as a tight end, he's going to have some kind of talent in the receiver aspect. He has to.
He obviously is now technically a 2-sport athlete.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, no, he did a stint in the majors with the Mets. So yes.
So I don't know. He's obviously athletic. He wouldn't, like you said, if he wasn't in shape, he wouldn't be making the team.
Mm-mm.
It's now just, do they use him more as a blocking tight end, or is he used more as a pass catcher? Or
He's
is
an
he,
athlete.
Is he a hybrid?
He's an athlete.
Is he your half quarterback, half tight end guy?
I also feel like he's a yes man.
Oh, 100%.
So especially now he's back with Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer will easily
whatever he wants him to do. I need you to block for 82 plays in a row, and then I might look to throw to you. Yes, sir. And that's not just because he is. That's not because he is. I can't think of the word for it, but it's just because he's respectful. He understands the hierarchy of a team.
Yeah.
He's not. He doesn't have the huge ego. He's never had that huge ego.
He has the opposite of an ego. Like, he gives his ego to other people.
Yeah. Is there a word for that?
I don't know.
An ego?
He just,
yeah.
you take my ego.
Yeah. No. He's always been.
I
that
won a
way.
national championship. No, y'all won a national championship. And you're like,
I saw the tweet the other day in regards to Tim Tebow coming back. We need a 30 for 30 on this guy.
100%.
Just because his time in college, half that team that he won the national championship with is either in jail or dead now.
Yeah.
And then coming out, everybody wanted to be a tight end. So instead, he went to the Broncos as a backup. And then was it his first start that he won the playoff game?
I don't fully remember.
That was a while ago now.
That game was crazy, though. It was an overtime win, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an overtime win.
He hit Demaryius Thomas over the middle for Demaryius Thomas got the ball 20 yards in the field, but then ran
the rest of it
60.
Yeah.
So Tim Tebow didn't do much.
He did what he had to do.
He just threw the ball.
He just throws the ball. He did what he has to do for sure. And then the whole thing, going to baseball, trying to play football still, going to baseball, staying in baseball, and now he's back playing football with Urban Meyer at tight end. I think he became a priest at one point.
I don't know. That guy,
he's been all over.
He was a college analyst at one point.
He was an analyst at one point for a while. He got picked up by,
was it ESPN?
I think it's SEC Network. Yeah, so ESPN.
Okay,
I think.
And I hope. Obviously, we don't want to see people's careers not go well.
No, I want to see him excel.
It's gonna be so weird. The first play Tim Tebow lines up, And I'm like, that's not where quarterbacks line up.
That's that. Is he an eligible quarterback on this play?
Yeah,
or-
like, is he gonna throw it? And I mean, maybe
Well-
maybe they do it the first play of the season.
I feel like they will use him more of a threat as of mental threat. Like, oh, Tim Tebow's on the field. We have to understand that if he gets the ball, he may not run with it. He's going to turn around and pass it.
How many plays do you think? Do you think they do you think they run a lot of plays that he is like the play action guy? Like they fake the handoff to him.
I don't think they'll ever do. Whether you talking about like with him lining up at quarterback
No. So I'm saying like he lines up like sometimes tight ends line up
and
as-
like jet sweep style.
Yeah. So he comes around. How many times do you think they do something like that?
I don't think they're going to have him be running like that. I think I don't see him
I mean, not taking the ball, but like
running through the backfield as a threat.
yeah.
I don't see him doing that. I don't think he's fast enough to do that, to be able to pull it off effectively.
I don't think he is. either.
I can see him doing like just in motion stuff, but nothing play action style.
I can't wait for a.
He's a big dude though.
I can't wait for Trevor Lawrence in shotgun, and they have Tim Tebow in motion, and they do a direct snap to Tebow, like inches from the center, and he just
Dives. He goes.
He just runs through like three players.
I mean,
and we're like, he's a big
this
guy.
is- Yeah, I was just looking it up. He's 6'3", 245.
Yeah, it's a big guy.
So, but I can't remember. I want to say he was a run first quarterback in college.
Yes, but he's never been.
This was drafted 2010, so we're going back
He
15 years now.
If I recall correctly, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think he's ever been like that speed runner. He's always been the bulkier, like I'm going to break 6 tackles
Yeah.
and end up in the end zone somehow.
Yeah. I agree with that. Because he's not a small Kyler Murray
No.
or a Russell Wilson. He is a little bit taller by like 6 inches. A little bit heavier, probably by about 20, 30 pounds. So it'll be interesting. Whether we've gone off on this tangent for sure, but it'll be interesting to see.
Well, I mean, it's the first episode since the actual signing.
This is true. But it'll be very interesting to see how well he can, I guess, transition. Is that the right word? And into a tight end role?
Okay, so I'm going to ask one question to wrap up this Tebow talk.
Okay.
If Lawrence, right, say he's a bust, say
Mhm.
he's playing horribly, not even close to good, right? You know where this question's going.
Yeah. I don't see him coming in at quarterback.
Yeah. You see what I mean? It's Tebow, it's Urban Meyer.
The possibility is there, yes. I don't. Who else do they have on that roster? Who is the depth chart backup?
You figure that out because I have no idea. But I don't know why.
With the fact that it's Urban Meyer, I think with any other coach, no shot. The
100%.
fact that it's Urban Meyer gives it a little bit of maybe. I would be interested, kind of like you asked earlier. Gardner Minshew's backup.
I for some reason thought Gardner Minshew would have left.
I forgot Gardner Minshew was.
I thought he
a
would
thing.
have left and taken his mustache somewhere else. But he
No,
obviously has
especially
not.
with Gardner Minshew there. I think that even lessens the fact. The only way we're gonna see Tebow throwing the ball is
It's like-
kind of like how you said earlier. If it's either a Wildcat-esque thing or throw it to the sideline so he can throw it down or Philly special type thing.
They're definitely gonna have no. He's definitely gonna line up in Wildcat multiple times.
yes.
Think about it: red zone, 1 yard line.
He's got the skill enough to.
He's the guy
Do something.
who can run over that linebacker right at the goal line, and he's also got the skill. Hopefully, still has it to throw that 1 yard pass. Right, like
He should be able to do that for sure. At least, yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see the whole situation.
Just
kind of
for
pan out.
comparison's sake, just because I was curious. Tim Tebow,
Uh-huh.
6'3", 245. Number 1 tight end drafted, Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
6'6", 240.
But Kyle Pitts runs what, a 4.4 or 4.5? Isn't he like super quick?
I think so. Yeah, I honestly 40 times.
I know,
That's
like-
the first.
I know the Cowboys signed, like our linebacker we drafted, Michael Parsons.
4.4.
He runs a.
4.44 actually.
I just,
So he's pretty quick.
where do these tight ends get all this speed from? Like, you have to think these guys were probably wide receivers at one point.
And we're too big to be a wide
I was
receiver.
gonna say, what is the point where you go, you can't play wide receiver? Like his size, let him play wide receiver. I don't.
Well, I mean, let's do this then. Since
Is it because he's better at blocking?
that has something to do with it for sure. So just again for reference, because Falcons fan, Julio Jones is 6'3", 220. Kyle Pitts is 6'6", 240. So
That's gonna be really unfair, by the way, having a 6'3" and a 6'6" guy on the field.
is.
But Julio's not 6'3". I mean, he
Julio's
he
6'3".
physically is 6'3".
Oh no, but he can catch a 9-foot tall ball.
I agree, maybe 12 feet tall. I don't know. Sometimes Julio jumps up, and I'm like, I don't know.
Floats.
He floats, and then like his arm just like extends farther than it should.
And in case we need somebody really quick that's gonna go under these guys, we have Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see this offense, and not excited at all to see this defense.
I said this last week or the week before something, that it is first season post COVID that the players get full workouts, unless they test positive for COVID, which one of the rookies did recently.
How?
And he didn't. Yeah, so he doesn't get to participate in rookie minicamp. But I mean, last season we didn't have a rookie minicamp. It was draft,
April 1st. Everybody has to do something.
and then it was season. Like, there was nothing in between.
They had their Zoom calls.
Oh, my bad. All right, everyone, let's raise our left hand.
Yeah. So
All right, now stretch 1, 2.
we need to see if we can find now that we're a year after all of that, see if we can go back and find any of like the team calls online somewhere, just to see what they were actually.
Oh, that would be
like.
interesting.
Because I'm sure that all they could really do, all they can do is review plays.
I mean, like footage that's in film, like that's an easy thing to do virtually.
Yeah.
But the thing that we have talked about that you don't get is like actually hitting another guy.
Yeah, the physical aspect, which is kind of a big part of this game.
Yeah. Your body.
Lining up as an offensive line or defensive lineman, lining up 2 inches from the other guy, and then trying to see who can run through the
Let me
other.
push my wall.
Yeah, like that's
Awesome.
Or unless I'm sure most of these guys have workout equipment at home, had a trainer with them for the majority off season, probably may even have like a sled
Yeah.
that they can push. So it's not that they weren't doing anything, it's just that they weren't doing anything with somebody.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see all that kind of stuff, because I mean, like, Dak is coming back. So is Dak's leg healthy? Do we know? Or
I feel like this is horrible to say, if you were going to get hurt, last season was a good time to get hurt.
yes, because last season to a lot of people was sort of like a wash.
Exactly.
Like last season didn't exist to a lot
Exactly.
of people. So
I said it March, April of last year, for mostly talking about baseball, but it extends to football, everything else. Whoever wins, there's an asterisk at the end of that season.
yeah.
There has to be. And I said it for baseball too, and the Braves were 1 game away from going to the World Series. Even if we would have won, it would have been hard to claim that victory. Just because it was a 60-game season, talking about baseball, it was a 60-game season, 100 games less than a normal season.
Mm-hmm.
Playoffs were altered, there were so many extra rules, COVID rules. And NFL kind of similar did the same thing with no mini camps, no training camps,
Yeah.
nothing until early August, and then they had 3 weeks to prepare for their first game because there was no preseason either. They literally went cold into their first game apart from scrimmages. They couldn't even do group practices.
Yeah.
How like teams will come together and do practices and scrimmages. They couldn't do anything.
I think
They were scrimmaging their practice squad at best.
And obviously, like normal seasons, like the quarterbacks have their QB room, the running backs are in their room, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And it got like skewed out heavily with COVID because there was, I forgot what team it was, one of the quarterbacks tested positive for COVID, and the entire quarterback room had to sit out.
Yeah.
Was it the Broncos that had to like sign some quarterback like 2 days before, and they were like, "Hey, literally all of our guys
Are out.
can't play.
Yeah.
Like, we need you to just play."
I think it was the Broncos. That sounds right.
So.
Yeah, one guy took out the whole quarterback core, all 4 of them.
So this season, fingers crossed that there isn't anything like that. Like, we're past
Did they ever come out and say anything about requirements on vaccines?
To be at stadiums?
No, for players.
Not that I know of.
Okay, not that I can think of either.
Um,
That wouldn't be a terrible idea because
No.
that would cut all this out.
yeah, and it would just basically like.
It would be back to normal,
Yeah.
as normal could be.
So it'll be nice to finally have fans back in the stadium. Like
For
when I
sure.
went to the Texas Rangers game a
Mhm.
few days ago, or a week ago, the first time the Rangers scored and the crowd cheered, I got chills down my
Oh,
back.
it was amazing.
Uh,
I went to a Braves game Tuesday,
Yeah,
and that was my first game back, going back, and yeah, no, there's nothing like it. Even watching it on TV, it just feels and looks different.
100%.
Like everything is more exciting. I know a lot of people have trouble watching baseball, but
It is-
everything was just more exciting because of the aura, I guess,
Yeah.
of everything. You could hear the chatter in the background. You could hear the roar of the crowd. You could see the interaction between the players and the fans, and all of it. It was just
I just
amazing.
I'm not good at watching baseball on TV.
Mhm.
But then I tried watching a game last season with no fans, and I was like, "There,
Oh, it was
why
it was
am
painful.
I watching?
last
I'm watching a
season.
scrimmage.
It was painful.
Why am I
Yeah, that's
here?
what it felt like. It was
It's
painful
just
last
it's just
season.
quiet.
And that was why there was a game in Japan or Korea or something like that. That was like the first game back with fans in like September of last year, and it had the highest rating of any sporting event last year.
No shock.
Yeah,
No shock at all.
obviously it had the highest attendance too, but I feel like that's unfair.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be nice to see fans back. Hopefully less injuries because
They can actually condition themselves a little bit better this
last
year.
season I just felt so bad. It just felt like
It was every game.
every game there was at least 2 or 3 people dropping, and I'll be honest. There were points where I was nervous that some teams just would end up losing every single game because they
Didn't
lost.
have players.
They lost like all their people.
Yeah. I don't
So
know. It was fun. It was fun's the wrong word. It was eye opening last year to see how. I was gonna say a little change. That was a pretty big change.
teams had to adapt.
Yeah, but just to see that how they all adapted because they all had the same, literally the same baseline to go off of.
Mhm.
Nobody can be together until August 1st or whenever the day was. Your first game is in 26 days. Go and make it happen. And I guess the only teams that you could say were successful would be any team that made the playoffs outside of the NFC East.
Yeah, we want to talk about NFC East.
No offense, but 23 wins.
You keep bringing it
Because
up.
it's such you have
I
four
get
teams.
it. I get it. You don't need to explain it, okay? I don't need you to explain it, okay? I get it.
I mean,
it
I can't
just-
say too much about my division either, just because it was questionable at best. I mean,
You
we had the Bucks and the
You could just say your sentence should just say on the NFC East who didn't win a lot of games. You keep throwing out the
Because-
exact number,
because-
and I know the breakdown, and it hurts.
it's just that's so.
Bad. Yeah.
How did no team break? Who won the division last year?
Washington.
At what 6-10?
7 and 9? I think. I know. Okay, you don't need to give me a look. Okay, I don't.
Quick math here.
I don't need
Um,
it. Okay.
If one team had 7 wins and
I-
the rest of the team had 23, you're telling me 3 teams only came up with 16 wins?
Okay, ha 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 ha. Thanks, I appreciate it, Eddie. You're so kind.
I'll get off of it, but it's just mind-boggling to me that it was.
Oh, it's mind-boggling to you.
I know you had to live it.
I had to experience. Last season, I didn't watch a lot of football because
It was hard to watch last season.
It was hard
and
to-
also you lost Zach really early.
they went 7 and 9.
Okay.
Yep, including beating the Cowboys 25-3 and 41-16.
Jesus.
Awesome. What a
Who was y'all's backup last year?
which one?
Y'all had Andy Dalton last year, didn't
We
you?
had Andy Dalton,
Okay.
and then he got hit with a concussion.
Yeah.
A really bad concussion.
Yes.
And then we had Big Ben DiNucci, who went in.
Oh, that's right.
And then we had someone else play. I can't remember who. I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
But it was
Well, it's hard for any team. I don't care who you are. If you go down and lose your starting quarterback, I think the only team going to this season that I can think off the top of my head that would be that would still be able to get by without missing a beat would be the Bears.
Yes.
Because if they lose their first round draft pick, Justin Fields, they have Andy Dalton or Nick Foles to come in.
If they
Andy
lose,
Dalton, who's been in the league for 15 years,
if they lose one of them,
they have the other one.
Yeah.
So it's the Bears. The Bears have the best depth at quarterback.
They have the best situation to maintain however their team is going.
Yes.
Unless Justin Fields is like a true NFL talent, like we believe he is,
Yeah.
there is going to be a dip. But we won't know until
We've got till August, end of August, September.
Do you happen to have the primetime schedule on hand
For which primetime schedule?
for Monday night?
Yes. If I can find it, it's this one. Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football is always really exciting. Obviously, we start with Las Vegas, Detroit at Green Bay. Which, I mean, if Rodgers doesn't play,
That could be
that's just an interesting game because it's Jared Goff visiting
against
Jordan
somebody.
Love,
Oh, Jordan Love, you're right.
and then of course Dallas has to have a Monday night game.
Always.
Then the Chargers. Man, that Chargers team, I am scared to play them.
The Chargers are going to be very, very good. And I hate to do this, but I'm about to piss myself. So I'll be back.
Okay,
Talk about schedule.
I got it. Don't worry. But yeah, I don't know. The Chargers team is really good, or very underrated. They're super young, and Justin Herbert is definitely finding his own 2 feet in the league. And then we go week 5. We have Indy at Baltimore, but I don't. Indy's quarterback is Carson Wentz, and is Carson Wentz going to stay healthy? That's the real question. I mean, that man hasn't stayed healthy his entire career. So I don't even want to put any thought into Indy having a chance of beating Baltimore right now. I mean, it's 5 weeks in, so I mean, he could get injured. Week 6 is, to me, week 6 is the first super exciting Monday night game because it is Buffalo at Tennessee, and we get to see the Bills have finally had, I mean, they won the AFC East, so they finally have a good season, and now we get to see if they can repeat it. I don't see a team in that division stopping them from winning it again. There's no way that the Bills lose to like anyone in that division. They have to sweep that division. And think about it. You have the Jets with Zach Wilson, who again, he's a rookie, so we don't know if he's gonna turn out to be someone. And then you have the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, who same situation. I don't know if he's gonna turn out to be someone. And then you have the Patriots with whoever they start at quarterback.
They've only got 4 options.
I'm basically saying that the Bills are going to win their division again, and they're going to sweep their division. I don't see any. I don't see Zach Wilson beating Josh Allen. I don't see Trevor Lawrence beating Josh Allen, and I don't see whoever the Patriots.
I mean, you'd think you're that high on Josh Allen. I'm very high on Josh Allen as well.
I think Josh Allen
that high.
I think Josh Allen is a top 5 talent in the league.
Really?
Yes, he is. I will firmly stand on that hill.
I mean, I'm very high on Josh Allen, Sam Darnold as well. Not as high on Sam Darnold, but I don't know about sweeping the division. Just because divisional games are always weird. And you're talking about Bill Belichick with...
They swept them last year.
They did sweep them last year. Last year with... Who did they have last year? They had Cam Newton, but he got injured.
And then they had some other people.
Why am I thinking Brissett?
He may have been there.
I don't know. But I'm thinking with a proper offseason, it's hard to base anything off of last season.
I agree.
But with a proper offseason, Bill Belichick being able to coach up Mac Jones.
Do you think Mac Jones starts?
Yes, at some point. I don't think he'll be the week 1 starter.
Okay. So
but
Cam Newton is the starter.
I think Cam Newton's still the starter, yes. And that's, we obviously, We play them, I think, either a Thursday night game or a Monday night game. So it's not a Monday night game.
Oh,
We have a
hopefully.
primetime game against them. I don't know which one it is. Because the whole thing has been, maybe it's not a primetime game. Maybe I'm just dumb.
You play.
We do play them.
Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Is that November 18th? Is that
Week 11.
that's the week before Thanksgiving? Not Thanksgiving week. You play the week before Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Yes. Yes. So, all like for that game, there's obviously a lot of hype about Cam Newton coming back to play against an old division rival.
I'm sure the mic is picking that up.
100%.
Okay, all right. Scuffed.
Anyway,
That's us.
but all of like the promotion that I've seen for how to get louder.
I don't know. I don't.
Anyway,
I thought they were like circling the building. I was like, what is happening?
pause. But all the promotion that I've seen is Cam Newton against the Falcons, Cam Newton against this opponent, Cam Newton. So
That's week
it's
11,
hard to believe
right?
it's-
I
yeah.
don't think he plays till week 11.
that's the other side of that. Is it's if they decide to go with Mac Jones, at what point does he come in? Unless Cam Newton goes 11-0 or 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions through the first like 3 weeks, we're not going to see anybody but Cam Newton probably till he flips that.
Yeah.
But Bill Belichick is the guy that if you throw 2 interceptions in the first quarter, you're out. No questions asked. Most teams will let you keep going.
I mean, the scenario with Cam Newton is going to be either at a week 11, if there's 2 options, right? So either he's playing against you guys, and it's because he's playing
Really
lights
well.
out, and the Patriots are like 8-3 or
Yeah.
9-2, or I guess 9-1 or 8-2 going into that game.
Yeah.
Or he played horribly, and it's like Mac Jones'
Couldn't do it.
4th or 5th game at
Yeah.
week 11. So I think Mac Jones starts some point. I said this last episode. I don't remember my exact time frame, but I feel like it's going to be
Week 4-ish, give or take a week.
Yeah.
3 weeks though. The weeks 3
I
through
think-
5 is when I could see him getting a chance.
I don't see Mac Jones. I see Mac Jones playing and starting, but I don't see it happening later than week 8. Like, I think it's going to happen pre-week 8 or their 8th game, whatever, wherever their bye is.
Unless Cam Newton is playing that well.
Yeah. Like, because again, you said it is a full off season. Bill Belichick can turn any situation positive.
Yeah.
So maybe Cam Newton, and this is Cam Newton's true first season healthy.
As a Patriot.
Like,
yeah.
healthy as
Healthy at
Patriot.
all.
So who knows, right? Like, Cam Newton could come out and show us that he's still an MVP type quarterback, and
Mhm.
the first game he throws 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, and you're like,
Oh, he's pretty good.
you're like, oh, okay, Cam Newton can still ball, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Patriots, I mean, all people, I guess the hype has kind of died down around the Patriots now that Tom Brady's not there. But the Patriots are still a very fun team to watch. Or I think they're more fun now because it's not Tom Brady and the boys.
I
now
agree.
it's actually the Patriots. They don't have that headliner. I
It's
guess you could
because with
say.
Tom Brady,
It's Tom Brady.
not that he was like a dump off quarterback, but he always knew where to throw it.
Yes.
Like, it seemed like every single play, he knew exactly who to throw it to and when to throw it.
It's
Like,
because he does his homework.
Yeah, and I
And
get
then
that.
some.
But that was why it was so boring for me. Is just because you're like, oh look, he went 7 for 7 on this drive.
Yeah.
Oh look, he went 9 for 9 on this drive, and everything just always worked, and it was really annoying to watch. Like,
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean,
I'm happy that we get to witness Tom Brady in our lifetime.
Oh, it's the same thing I said about Drew Brees. I hate him so much because we had to play him twice a year. But I would have rather him be on the Saints than on a team not in my division. Just because I did get to watch him play minimum twice a year against my team. And we got to experience him versus Tom Brady, him versus
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, him versus Aaron Rodgers. We got to see all these amazing matchups in our lifetime.
It's the thing that I always like missed out on is my dad would always talk about, oh, Troy Aikman and Steve Young and all these
Mhm.
other quarterbacks, but we didn't get to watch them.
We didn't see
we
any
get
of
to
it.
watch highlights, and now with these guys,
We got to watch for 10 years
our
straight.
kids we're gonna be like, you missed out on Tom Brady versus Drew Brees.
Yeah, exactly. Ben Roethlisberger's up there too. Whenever he was still killing it.
When we could say for the first 12 games last season. And then everything.
They just fell.
Yeah.
That Juju made that TikTok and that was it.
Oh, I mean, well, when he made that TikTok, everyone was like, okay,
That's it.
all right. I don't know. There's just so many question marks going into this season because, again, it is like we've said multiple times, but it's like the biggest. I think it is the biggest storyline going into the season. Not about Trevor Lawrence, not about any quarterbacks, any players, nothing. It is just that it is the first season back, full season with complete workouts and everything.
Legitimately, from draft to Super Bowl, it's going to be what we expected last season to be before COVID happened.
Plus, it is also more interesting because now we have an extra game on top of it.
Yes. Are there any other caveats, I guess, to this year other than the extra game? I mean, they lost the preseason game because they added one game, but I can't think of any other rule changes. I'm sure there will be some other BS penalties that are.
There was something about replays. I don't know if it got passed or not.
Okay.
But
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest storyline is that it's just
It's a season.
An actual season.
Yes.
And we'll have fans and we will truly be able to tell, like when you go to Seattle.
Yeah.
Or if you go to, Atlanta's stadium is loud. If you go to
all these stadiums are gonna Arrowhead, Seattle's,
the first game in. I wonder who plays.
Who's got that first game?
Who has the first game in Seattle? Because that team.
Good luck.
Is going to have a wonderful time.
I mean, same thing for the Chiefs. Same thing for Arrowhead. First team in there is going to be.
It's very true.
It's going to be unfortunate. That's not what I wanted. I'll look at the Chiefs while you're doing that.
My ESPN isn't working.
All right, I'll look at both of them.
Okay, my ESPN is sort of working. I don't know. I don't know. My iPad is freaking out.
Chiefs schedule. Chiefs' first game at home is week 3 versus the Vikings.
Okay, well, that's really unfair because the Vikings obviously aren't gonna. We do.
Yeah.
Even if that was in Minnesota.
Oh, sorry, that was preseason. I'm sorry. It is week 1 against the Browns.
Oh no,
that's gonna be a good game.
That is a game because the Browns. I mean,
it's their year.
This is a rematch of the Browns who should have won, I believe.
Yes. And ever since,
but like they said, anything is possible.
But I always love this matchup just now in the, I guess, common era, most in the recent years, because it is Baker versus Mahomes. And I want them to do what they did in college when it was like 66-59 and they had 1,400 combined yards.
The Tech OU game.
Yeah. I don't think that'll ever happen in the NFL, that many yards in a game. But I would love to see it.
Do you think, early prediction, do you think the Browns stand a chance?
Against the Chiefs?
First game in Arrowhead with fans against a Mahomes who's healthy again.
I believe they will have a chance in the second half. Because I feel like that's not necessarily a culture shock, but that's going to be just a shock. Because I don't think there's anything you can do to prepare against that.
That's fair.
And by the time they get to the second half, they'll be settled in a little bit. It's just how quickly can they get settled in. So, no, I believe the Chiefs will win that game. Early prediction.
Do you think it's...
I think it's close.
It's close? Okay.
I think it'll be... Well, I'll ask you that here in a minute because we do need to start wrapping up here soon. But Seahawks.
The Seahawks, they welcome in week 2. Is also going to be a good one. They welcome in Tennessee.
Ooh.
Yeah, which are two... they probably don't go by this anymore. I don't know if this term is used much anymore in football, but to me, they're two, in a way, it's like smash mouth football teams.
Yeah. I'm interested to see the Titans this year because now they have lost their head coach. Or their head coach, Arthur Smith, was head coach or offensive coordinator for them?
Offensive coordinator.
He was offensive
their head
coordinator.
Coach is,
okay.
Mike Vrabel.
You're right. So I'll be interested to see just because losing your offensive coordinator is kind of hard to replace.
It's not hard to coach the offense. Derrick Henry, ball, go.
This is true.
I mean, obviously there's more to the NFL, but Derrick Henry, go.
225 yards this game. Yeah.
225 yards next game. Like, I mean, he
Averaging 125 through
he
the
almost
first
hit.
8.
I forgot. Did he eclipse? Was he a 2K rusher last season? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I want to say yes.
He either hit 2K, or he was like right above it or right below it.
Mm-hmm.
It was in, I would say, 50 yards.
2027.
Yep. So
Averaged 5.4 rush last year.
I mean, that man's a beast.
Derrick Henry ball.
It's like a joke, but seriously, like, look at that. 5.4. You give him the ball twice every set of downs,
and you have a first.
You have a first down. That's it. And then the other play, unless you do those back to back, but if you don't do those back to back, that playing in the middle, just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah,
or go backwards.
Essentially, yeah.
So I think I don't know how Seattle's going to perform this year. Because
what's your hesitation?
Russell Wilson wants out. Like, obviously, Russell Wilson isn't the type of guy to, like, hold out. He's not the type of guy to not show up, not try. Like, he's obviously going to try.
Right.
But there has to be some part of him deep down that every play or every game, he's kind of like,
again, you got to do this again. It's the job. It's not playing.
But is he going to be? Is he going to be playing for the team, or is he going to be playing to build a resume? I mean, his resume is already built. I don't know why.
He doesn't have to build a resume.
Or do you think he's trying to basically just say, like, look, I am still relevant?
If anything, it's that. If anything, it's going to be, hey, I'm still Russell Wilson. I can still kick some ass whenever I need to.
Man, it is going to be so weird if Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers both leave their respective teams.
Go to, like,
Denver and Carolina
Houston.
or Houston. Yeah, man.
I mean, it's weird seeing these players that have been at a team for 10 plus years wear a different jersey. I mean, it's the same thing we went through with Peyton Manning, now Tom Brady. It's just weird. Same thing, Brett Favre back in the day. Like, I think of Brett Favre as a Packer. I think of Tom Brady.
Do you think of Brett Favre as a Jet?
Yes, only because I have his jersey as a Jet.
Oh my god. Do you think of him as a Viking?
I don't think of him as a Viking, no.
I think
the only reason why I remember he's on the Vikings is because that's where his career ended after the Saints 360'd his ankle.
It's also, speaking of players like that, going back farther, is Emmitt Smith. When he left the Cowboys and went to the Cardinals, I remember watching that season and just kind of like looking at the screen. It was weird. As a child, I remember looking at the screen going,
he's got the wrong jersey.
Who's that guy?
Yeah.
I had to ask my dad. I was like, what Smith is that? He's using the same number as Emmitt. My dad's like, yeah, it's Emmitt. I'm like, no.
You can't do that. Yeah.
As a child, like, my heart was broken. I was like, now I have trust issues. I'm just...
There we go. Now we're getting to the real stuff.
So, I don't know, man. There's just like so much. There's like so much for us to like talk about, and we can just like expand on like very minute topics, which we're gonna have to during this off season.
Which I have no problem with. We did that half of this.
I mean, we talked about Tebow for about 20 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. So, but we need to start wrapping up here. Outside of the Cowboys and Buccaneers game week 1.
Okay.
What game are you most excited to see?
I don't even have to look at the schedule because I already know.
What you got?
It's the Chiefs-Browns game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this the week 1 schedule?
This is the week 1 schedule, yeah. Only game.
I mean, like, Jacksonville, Houston, not worried about. Chargers, Washington, nope.
Don't care.
Seattle, don't care.
Nope. This one I'm kind of interested in. Cardinals and the Titans. I'll be interested in that one just because Titans are fun to watch and Kyler Murray should be interesting to watch again.
In previous seasons, we would be interested about this game, Green Bay versus New Orleans, but
we don't know the quarterbacks right now.
I mean, right now it's Aaron Rodgers versus Jameis Winston, maybe?
Yeah.
Question mark?
I mean, that's where it's looking for sure.
And like Denver, don't care. Miami, New England will be kind of interesting.
It'll be a good week 1 matchup.
Chicago Rams will be interesting if Justin Fields plays.
Yes.
Because that'll be the rookie quarterback versus the new worth 2 first-round pick quarterback.
Stafford.
I mean, technically, he was worth 2 first-round picks.
Both of them were worth 2 first-round picks, if you want to look at it that way, yeah. One of them just has 12 more years of
You know,
experience.
it's no big deal. It's just experience,
It's not a big deal, yeah.
right? No one.
So top 3 games then. 'Cause
Top 3 games then are
See-
Cleveland.
Cleveland
Without our
Chiefs.
teams,
Okay, Cleveland's Chiefs for sure.
Cleveland, Kansas City,
Why do I say it like that? Yeah.
Arizona, Tennessee,
Yes.
and Chicago Rams.
Yes.
Those are my top 3 games going into week 1.
I have to agree with all those.
Like-
And
like,
they're all played
it-
at different times.
It'll be cool to watch Baltimore go and play that new stadium in Las Vegas, but I just don't see.
If I will watch that game. It's Monday Night Football. The only reason I'm going to watch that mainly is for the stadium.
Do you know what I just thought of? What's crazy about this? Do you know what happens every first week of football that they're not doing right now? Monday night's a doubleheader,
Oh, you're right.
and they're not doing it. Right? There's no other games.
That's it.
It's usually week 1. There's a doubleheader, and Central Time. The first game starts at like 6, and the second game starts at 9.
Yeah, that you have a point.
I don't know what the point of that was.
Huh. Okay. You are correct though. That is weird, actually.
So
The
who knows?
ratings thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like they could have picked a different game, but
It's,
Vegas.
It's the new stadium.
Vegas is going to be arguably has to be one of the biggest markets.
100%. 100%. So, I don't know. But yeah, I think that Kansas City, I almost said that Kansas City Chiefs game, acting like those are the two teams playing each other.
The Cleveland Kansas City game.
Yeah, I think that game's going to be the most exciting week 1. Even like, obviously, as a Cowboys fan, I can't wait for our game. But I would, if someone was like, you need to pick a game, obviously I'd like to go see my team play,
That
but
one.
I would probably rather see the other game.
It's that one for sure.
Because it is, like you said, I almost said Baker Mayfield.
Wow.
The Baker Mayfield versus Patrick Mahomes game that, like you brought up from college, it is, I think, their first like true time.
They've played once before, because I remember bringing this up before.
Okay, I don't know, man. It is, if that game doesn't end like with a total of like over under like 66 points over, like
Oh, I think that should be.
the game's either going to be like 6-3
No, I don't see that.
or
happening.
it's going to be like
40-45.
yeah, because like
I
games-
definitely see it being on the higher end of that.
games, I agree, but games like this where it's like 2 quarterbacks like this, it's either like they both just
Mm-hmm.
can't get it going, and it's again like
Or
6-3,
both on fire.
or yeah, like remember when Goff and Mahomes played in Mexico, and the score was, I mean, I don't know,
75-65.
99-98.
It was I do
So-
remember that game. Yeah, because they ended up like they scheduled that game again for the next year in Mexico, like the next week.
Yeah, it was that game. That game's gonna be similar to how the game in Mexico went.
Yeah.
It's just now it's, I think, a better quarterback in Mayfield over Goff. So,
Yes, very much so.
but I think Mahomes pulls it out.
I think Mahomes will win that game.
I think it is. I think it's a 1-score game.
I was gonna say at most 10. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see.
But that is gonna do it for episode 31. Again, the audio is scuffed. Whatever.
Enjoy this.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our impromptu thing. Again, you can find this the video on YouTube. Just search Meme Streams 32 Teams. Again, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, same thing, Meme Streams 32 Teams. Find us on Twitter at Memes 32 Teams. And we will see you guys next time back in our normal setups. And yeah, I hope you guys
This was
enjoyed.
Fun. This was fun.
We'll do this again sometime. We'll have to.
We'll do it for Cowboys Falcons game.
True. We will be in the same place when the Cowboys and Falcons play.
I know
so,
that's still like 6 months out, but we'll probably figure it out before then. Too.
yeah. So you'll have to fly in
That's
a
the
little bit
plan.
early.
That's
So
the plan.
so.
I assume that's the plan at least.
that is the plan now. But on that note, guys, we appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Adios.
Peace.